哥们儿，
把他妈的衣服脱了！
衣服脱掉，哥们儿。脱衣服。
兄弟，把帽子摘了，兄弟。
把衣服脱。
快！
谢，快点儿，可以。
Shit's about to get real.
来，听到吗？
这两个都死。
有话好好说，别打我们俩。
哎呦，他把那死了。我有 girl。Sweet girl。我有 girl。Hello. That's my gun. Je cherche pas maman.
都知道说话吗？
Go, bitch. Let's go.
Let's do it.
Damn it! That's unfortunate. Exit this game. I don't need to do that.
可以。
谁欺负我妹子？
省吧，机场不要太远了。
Let the bodies hit the floor. Let the bodies hit the floor.
Put some clothes on, you whores.
Shut up, bitch.
不老说你妈了个臭逼，操你妈！
You judgmental prick.
What's up?
Shut the fuck up.
China number 1. 2.
Are you Chinese? Are you Chinese?
China number 2.
Where are you from?
Where are we going? Where are we going, boys? Hey. Hey.
Hi. How you doing?
Hey.
Are you good today? I hope you had a nice day.
You too, buddy.
Have a late Christmas.
I shut. I'm sorry. Oh, thanks, a car. Monte Nuevo. Upset if this shit kills me. a shot. Holy shit. And he sat there for a while, too. Holy shit, what a shot. I cannot believe that. He's either hacking or fucking really good. Holy shit. I should have reported him. Holy smokes. What a fucking shot. I've never seen that before.
我来特做，你看这你猜的。
不动就动兵动。
America number one. America number one.
China number one.
America number one. China number two. Badoo. America number 1, China number 2.
China number 1. China 1.
America 1. Yeah, shit just got real. There's a shot. No! Ow! Ow! Oh my god! Man, fuck the pistol. I need something that shoots 1,000,000 bullets. Because I miss so much.
Hey, Vsauce! Michael here.
Hey! Flat Earth asshole. Jacob here.
Hey, the Eternal Vanguard. Tom here.
In 2003, researchers did the measurements and found that Kansas is, in fact, literally flatter than a pancake. Of course, the Earth is not flat, the Earth is round. Otherwise, travelers would be falling off the edge all the time. Right? Wrong.
Yes, in fact, that is wrong.
You don't say.
It is a common misconception that when people first hear the words flat Earth, they automatically assume that there is an edge in which one can fall off of.
And from the countless diagrams and maps, etc., that idiots like you propose, they all seem to have an edge.
This is in fact false, and literally zero flat earthers believe in an edge to begin with. Most flat earthers believe there is an ice wall or some sort of barrier which holds the oceans inward.
Citation, please.
Okay, dismissed.
Allah Akbar! Allah Akbar! America number 1. Squad. Be scary. Oh yeah. Can you stop running? The fuck?
Süleyman gel kaldır Süleyman. O değil, beni düşürdün yere.
too easy. No!
Go, yeah.
The only true challenge is multiple people.
Most flat earthers believe that this is Antarctica, which surrounds the flat Earth 360 degrees around.
If this magical ice wall somehow existed, why hasn't anybody who shares your beliefs gone in an air balloon and everything, just taken pictures? If someone somehow managed to prove that the Earth was flat, I bet would get a Nobel Peace Prize, like, almost instantly.
America number one. No, I can't believe it! Fuck. Come on, I gotta start aiming down the scope. Fuck, man. At least I fucked up that one Tuesday.
Simply. That shit would be revolutionary. That should be insane. That'd completely make us rewrite everything we knew about science and physics and everything. So why don't you? Oh wait, oh yeah, because it's bullshit.
Thus, this is the reason the Antarctic Treaty was formed, which restricts the public from freely exploring Antarctica.
Yeah, it has absolutely nothing to do with the fact that it's really dangerous and completely pointless. It has and everything to do with the fact that it's the evil government trying to control your minds.
So while the USA, Russia, and China may appear to be enemies, they can all somehow to agree to shake hands and join together in an effort to protect Antarctica for quote-unquote scientific research purposes.
Yeah, no country leader ever has ever been that simple-minded. To not even bother to negotiate anything with countries that currently have tension. Yeah, because that's how reality works, isn't it? Fuck's sake.
And oddly enough, the United Nations uses a flat Earth map as their logo.
No, that's just not Eurocentric. It's just a top-down view. Seriously, how fucking stupid are you? You can clearly see the curvature around countries like America.
Can you see Antarctica on this map?
No, because it's on the other side. But you know what else I don't see? I don't see a big fucking wall surrounding the entire thing either.
Yeah, exactly. Furthermore, if one were to explore what could be beyond Antarctica, one might find the existence of a barrier, dome, or firmament.
Yeah, or maybe it's Legoland, where all of the Lego people are real and are sentient. Or maybe it's heaven. Like, maybe all of the gods are there. We just have to climb over this imaginary wall that nobody's ever seen before.
If
Shut the fuck up, you dumb nigger.
Motherfucker, I haven't chat.
I got no job. Control. Tell.
There, that's where they go. Okay. Hey. 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 I got a gun for you. Did you pick up anything up for me? I appreciate it. No. Let's go back to my guns.
If we were indeed in an enclosed system, there would physically be no edge in which to fall off of.
And yet no evidence ever is even implied that we live in an enclosed fucking bubble system.
And an even more interesting possibility would be the existence of more land or other worlds beyond Antarctica. The possibility does in fact exist that the Earth is an infinite plane, and thus an end or edge simply does not exist.
And yet you're still to provide a slither of evidence that this wall exists.
So, to assume that the Earth has an edge is like assuming that outer space has an edge. So whenever anyone says to me, "Hey Jake, where's the edge of the flat Earth? I like to look at them and say, hey, where's the edge to outer space?
Well, in relation to us, the edge to the universe from our perspective is the particle horizon, where anything beyond that, space is expanding so quickly that it would literally take the data being sent to and from us to be going up faster than light for us to actually receive it. So, from our perspective, it's unreachable, it doesn't exist. That's the edge. Shit argument, try again.
If the Earth was not a ball shape, but was instead a flat disk, like this plate, well, with the right density and thickness, living in the middle could feel pretty normal. But as you moved toward the edge, gravity on a disk Earth would slightly skew, pushing at a greater and greater angle back toward the center. My friend Nick from Yeti Dynamics put together this great simulation. The person and buildings obviously aren't to scale, but check out how such increasingly diagonal gravity would work. Although this is a flat disk, it would feel to a runner headed toward the edge like they were fighting to climb up a steeper and steeper hill. The building foundations behind the runner reflect how you would have to build structures closer and closer to the edge so that people living in them always felt like down was at right angles to the floor, the way we feel it on our big round Earth. Now, as you approach the edge, things would get scary. Remember, this is a flat Earth, so it would feel like a sheer drop-off. What's really cool is that contrary to the don't fall off the edge fear, on a flat world, because of gravity, the scary risk would actually be falling away from the edge and rolling all the way back to the center. Once you step over the edge, instead of falling off into space, you'd be able to relax. It would be a nice, level place. This model, of course, neglects the fact that such a planet shape would be impossible.
American number one. Fucking bullshit, man. Now I'm getting annoyed. Because that was bullshit.
Yeah, not only is it impossible, but it's completely ridiculous.
Which is why the flat Earth model is not taken seriously by modern science.
Literally zero flat earthers believe in gravity to begin with.
Oh, finally, something sensible.
And literally zero flat earthers believe that the Earth is some disk floating around in outer space. The concept of outer space is fictitious to begin with.
So you don't believe in gravity, you don't believe in outer space, but you believe in a mystical ice wall that surrounds the entire planet that nobody's actually seen.
And if we were to go above the Earth, 121,000 feet high, you can clearly see that the horizon is flat.
He uses such a tiny unit of measurement to make it seem like that's a gargantuan number, when in reality, 121,000 feet is less than 37 kilometers. Like, that's a half-hour's journey ride in a car going at 60 kilometers an hour. That's a drive from, like, you to the shops, at most. Like, that distance. and he's expecting to see curvature on a planet that's almost 13,000 kilometers in diameter. That's not circumference either, that's diameter. From one side of the planet to the other, there is 13,000 kilometers of just mass.
Yes, that's right. The horizon is always flat, as in horizontal, horis. Horis, horizontal, horizon. They don't call it the curvizon, do they?
Oh, would you look at that? After a quick Google search, you can find that the origins actually came from Greek, meaning limiting circle. If any of his subscribers had actually done a tiniest of Google searches, they would see that this guy's full of shit. But of course they won't do that. Because they're fucking flat earthers. Reality means nothing to these people.
Anything as massive as the Earth, shaped like a flat disk, would, under its own gravity, naturally collapse back into a ball.
Anything as massive as the Earth, shaped like a flat disk, would, under its own gravity, naturally collapse back into a ball.
This isn't any of my camera trickery or like I didn't do any of this weird shit. This is all flat Earth assholes doing.
Let me get this straight. If the Earth were flat, due to its own gravity, it would collapse into a ball?
Yes, you fucking idiot. That's how gravity works.
I've never heard of a flat object, flat, collapsing into a ball.
Well, have you ever seen anything as massive as a planet that wasn't a ball? Like, you're not gonna see something flat in the middle of space just collapse in on itself, because flat things don't exist in space.
are. Sorry it went down like this, buddy.
兄弟，我把东西丢给你。
Body. I didn't get ammo. I didn't crash. Fuck me. Shit.
You're not just gonna find a fucking huge plane of fucking rock that just boom. That's not gonna fucking happen for you. Are you really that stupid? I can't. Is this just a really elaborate troll or something?
Have you? Hey, did you see that flat basketball? Yeah, it collapsed and it filled up with air. I think for a flat object to turn into a ball, it would actually have to inflate.
What?
I've never heard of it being flat and then it collapsed and turned into a ball. And it doesn't make any sense.
Because it can't be flat in the first place.
Flat collapse into a ball? Nah. Ball collapses and turns flat.
Okay, since you can't wrap your mind around something as simple as basic gravity, let me see. Let me show you for you. Let's say this is Earth, right? This sheet of paper is fucking planet Earth. Under its own gravity, this is what had happened to it if it was somehow flat, which is impossible, but this is what had happened to it. And its own gravity would compress itself into a ball shape, although it would be a lot more round than this. As gravity is a lot more evenly spaced out, swing up a piece of paper. Then it's really not that fucking difficult.
Get your shit straight, Vsauce. Come on, dude.
This is why in outer space, everything more than a few hundred miles in diameter is round. Or so we've been told. What if gravity isn't real? What if gravity isn't real?
Yeah, this is still Flat Earth assholes doing, but I'm I'm not desecrating the holy Vsauce.
Oh, what if gravity isn't real?
What if the Earth is in fact flat and science has been wrong all along?
Sorry, Mr. Tyson, but you are flat out wrong.
Oh, this should be good.
The fact the microphone left your hand and fell back to the earth is a product of its weight and density. The microphone is more dense than the air in which surrounds it, so therefore it fell back to the earth. Much like if you were to jump off of a building, you would fall to the earth because your body weight is more dense than the air in which surrounds it.
You explained something that helps, but you didn't debunk the source. It's being, the force of gravity.
At the same time, you can take a tiny magnet and overpower this magical, mythological force of gravity. You see all these metal objects that should be falling towards the center of the Earth? They're actually being overpowered by a tiny magnet.
Water, fire, air, and dirt. Fucking magnets, how do they work?
So the same force of gravity, which holds trillions of gallons of water stuck to a spinning ball, are simply overpowered by a tiny magnet.
Magnetization just kind of acts like a temporary glue. Like if you let go of that fucking magnet, that's gonna drop to the earth like a stone.
And at the same time, if you fill a balloon with helium, it will rise. It will overpower the forces of gravity.
Yeah, because more force is being applied to the air, like the oxygen and the nitrogen, like the air in our atmosphere, than it is being applied to that balloon of helium. Do you need me to explain why helium's lighter? Really?
This is due to buoyancy. Because the helium in the balloon is lighter in which the air that surrounds it then rises.
Yeah, this is irrelevant and has very little to do with gravity, so I'm just going to skip ahead until he stops making the same point over and over again.
The helium can overpower the weight of the balloon itself and rise. If you were to drop a balloon without any helium, it would fall back to the earth. But once you put helium into the balloon, its contents are lighter than the air that surrounds it, and can then overpower the weight of the balloon and cause it to rise. The fact that something falls, the fact that something rises, is due to density and buoyancy, and nothing else. It's actually very simple. Whereas gravity causes objects to fall towards the supposed center of the earth. The fact that the center of the earth has never been proven causes the entire concept of gravity to fall apart.
The center of the earth hasn't... What?!
As the deepest any humans have ever dug down is in fact only 8 miles deep.
Despite all of the tests that have been carried out from earthquakes and the shockwaves that are sent through the Earth's mantle and bouncing off the core, etc., etc. Nah, if something doesn't exist unless you've seen it, then how come you believe that the Earth is surrounded by a huge fucking ice wall, which you haven't seen? Because that genuinely doesn't exist. But the center of a sphere does exist. We might not be able to tell exactly what it's made out of, but you can guarantee that something has a center.
Being we have only dug down 8 miles deep, we have never reached any theoretical core, and therefore the core is just that, simply a theory. Thus, if the molten core has never been proven to exist, then that means the center of the Earth has also not been proven to exist.
The theory of gravity doesn't revolve around the center of the Earth. That's just where most of the mass just happens to be. Like, you don't need a center of the Earth for gravity to exist. You just need an object with lots of mass. That's all you fucking need. And hey, rest